Welcome to Sister Talk. Of course, I'm Marie Love. Today, there's something that I would like to talk to you guys about, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you have time. Again, we're hitting back on the topic of parenting. So today, I want to talk about single parents. You know, when you're a single parent, that you may be a single mom or a single dad, it's never easy. It's always a challenging role that you have to partake. You may have to do it by yourself. You may have family members that help you. You may have great friends that are there to help you, or you may be part of a great community that can assist and cater to you. That's wonderful. But today I wanted to talk about the different faux pas that sometimes some single parent may make, and that it may have an impact on your child. Number one thing I want to talk about is that when you have a child sometimes that comes from a home of a single parent, and I know there's a lot of data out there that state all kind of things, it is a possibility that this child is going to have a low self-esteem or some type of esteem problem, because they're going to be thinking, what did I do wrong? Why is this happening to me? Why are my friends able to have both parents? Why not me? Or they may blame themselves, thinking that they did something wrong and that their parents are not together because of them being born. So in order to alleviate that possible concern that this child may have, is that you have to ensure at all time to always speak to them, to always make sure to instill that confidence in them, to let them know that they didn't do anything wrong, that it's not their fault, that they're not responsible for adult choices. And another faux pas that some people do is that they talk bad about the other parent in front of the child. I mean, regardless what role someone may choose to take later on in life after having a child, does not dismiss them as a parent. I mean, they may not fulfill the description or the definition that society or one may have about parenting or a parent, but at the end of the day, they still were part of bringing this child to life. So do your best not to, or maybe I should say it's a definite no-no to talk bad about the other parent in front of the child, regardless what the other parent is, regardless who they are, regardless how much you don't like them or you can't stand them anymore. They're still that child's parent. They're still that child's mother or father. So definitely a no-no. Do not speak about the other parent in front of the child, especially when it's bad stuff. Do not lie to the child. Don't tell the child that your father went to war, or bring some myth and say that your father was eaten by a bear or got lost in the forest, we can't find him. Just as silly as it sounds, I know some of you guys could be laughing right now, and and I could see my team is laughing, but I'm just saying, these are things sometimes that I hear sometimes people say when we're out and about doing conferences or doing meetups, doing community stuff, and they would say things like that. Oh, I don't care, I just told him that his father or his mom got eaten by a bear. And I'm like, wait, that's not even funny, but I mean, sometimes they say just for the joke of the moment to alleviate that hurt inside. But sometimes some people really do lie to their children or their child. They would tell them stories that, I don't know, any author cannot even compare to the creativity that they come up with the things that they tell the children. So do not lie to your child. Just tell them the truth. I mean, if an unfortunate matter happened to you, as far as rape or any other type of violation done to you, you don't want to break it down to a 2-year-old, to a 5-year-old and say, oh yeah, I was raped, that's how you were born. Of course not. But don't make it worse, because the more you lie, the more you have to say to cover the last lie that you told them. You know, if you told them they were eaten by a bear, so now what happened to the bear? Did you call the police? Was the bear killed? Just what happened? So you're gonna have to come up with something else to say, well, the bear didn't eat the whole thing. Mother bear ate the head, father bear ate the arms, the kids ate the legs. You're gonna have to keep coming up with stuff. So try not to lie to them. I mean, of course, give them to up to their potential. If they're not even school age, you don't want to, you know, relay any kind of heavy details or traumatized stories to them. But you could come down easy on them. You know, let's say sometimes some parents just decide that they just don't want to be involved. You know, they just don't want to be involved. So, you know, you're not going to tell the child, hey, you know what, he doesn't care, he doesn't want to be involved. You don't want to tell the child that. You just tell them, hey, listen, you know, maybe your parent is just occupied right now and they have to handle their life and they're unable to be present in your life now. I mean, of course, you're not going to use that intellect, but per se, you could just use something of that line. You're not necessarily going to lie to them. You're not going to have to fabricate anything to them. It's just that, you know, the parent doesn't want to be around, and you're just saying, hey, they do not want to be around, but you're not using that brutal honesty. You're just going around it and just give it to them the way that they can handle it as a child. The other point I wanted to make is that, listen, love might not be possible again, but peace is always possible. You can always try to work something out for, in case if that parent might not want to be involved, but they just want to make your life miserable. So you may just have to be creative about how to find peace again. You know, maybe some may have to just go to court and get an order for visitation, get an order for payment to make sure that this person, you know, uphold to their responsibility. It may be that you may have to go through a family member, you may have to go to a clergy, to your chaplain, to your, I don't know, parole officer. I don't know your situation. You go through whatever channel that may seem possible. Your pastor, your priest, whoever you may call that person that you respect in your life, you may have to just speak to that person. If it's a grandma, if it's a community leader, if it's you know, the old man in your community, the old woman in your community, you just have to find that person that you both can respect and sit down and come up with a plan and say, okay, you know, I'll have him for the weekend, you'll have him for the weekend, or vice versa. Just work something. You just got to keep in mind at all times, whatever that you're doing is not about you, but it's about that child. That child had nothing to do with whatever mistake, whatever issues that you guys have. This child just happened to be that miracle in your life, so you have to treat it as such. The next point is, I don't think I can say it enough about not talking bad about the other parent, and to also not spread bad rumors, not spreading bad news to family members and other people. You know, of course, if you have a supportive and involved family, you may want to tell them the truth. Okay, this person just doesn't want to be involved anymore, and you know, this is the kind of support I'm looking for. Don't just tell people stuff and then allow them to take leadership of your life. Even if something did not go the way you wanted it to go, you can still have control. You could say, hey, listen, you know, this is what I'm going through right now, and this is how I need your support. Don't just let them come and ambush your life with, oh my God, you can't do this, and drive you crazy. No. Even if you go into a situation, it can be very challenging for you to stay strong, remain strong, and do what you have to do. But just keep in mind that you still have to maintain control. You still have to do what you have to do. And even if you share a little bit of your story with someone, does not mean that this person is the author of your story. You're the author of your story, so you decide how you want it to end. You know, don't spread the bad news. It takes two to tango. Regardless how that parent may behave, regardless what that parent may have done or do to you, they're still their parents. You know, unless I'm not talking to the situation where someone is placing your life at risk, where someone is pinning you against the wall and try to throw you, you know, off a balcony. I'm not talking about this situation or try to kill you in your sleep. Please, I'm not talking about these situations. You have to get the proper channels involved as far as your local authority to let them know if someone is trying to kill you. It's never funny and you can never take it as a joke. But I'm speaking, you know, to the sense that, let's say that if this parent has an issue or is illiterate or has, I don't know, bad manners or have some kind of special needs, some type of mental health issues, some type of deformity, this is still their parents. You shouldn't try to take that parent out of the child's life because of who they are or what they appear to you. Whatever that you see in that other parent, the child is not seeing that. The child is only seeing, this is my beloved, this is my father, this is my mother. That they may be a parent who hang out at the crack house, that they may be that kind of parent.